Section the 22nd. It cannot be said that anything is attainable. Then Subhuti asked Buddha, world-honored one, in the attainment of the consummation of incomparable enlightenment, did Buddha make no acquisition whatsoever? Buddha replied, just so, Subhuti. Through the consummation of incomparable enlightenment, I acquired not even the least thing. Therefore it is called consummation of incomparable enlightenment. Section the 23rd. The practice of good works purifies the mind. Furthermore, Subhuti, this is altogether everywhere, without differentiation or degree. Therefore it is called consummation of incomparable enlightenment. It is straightly attained by freedom from separate personal selfhood and by cultivating all kinds of goodness. Subhuti, though we speak of goodness, the Tathagata declares that there is no goodness, such is merely a name. Section the 24th. The incomparable merit of this teaching. Subhuti, if there be one who gives away in gifts of alms a mass of the 7 treasures equal in extent to as many mighty Mount Sumerus as there would be in 3,000 galaxies of worlds, and if there be another who selects even only 4 lines from this discourse upon the perfection of transcendental wisdom, receives and retains them, and clearly expounds them to others, the merit of the latter will be so far greater than that of the former that no conceivable comparison can be made between them. Section the 25th. The illusion of ego. Subhuti, what do you think? Let no one say the Tathagata cherishes the idea, I must liberate all living beings. Allow no such thought, Subhuti. Wherefore? Because in reality there are no living beings to be liberated by the Tathagata. If there were living beings for the Tathagata to liberate, he would partake in the idea of selfhood, personality entity, and separate individuality. Subhuti, though the common people accept egoity as real, the Tathagata declares that ego is not different from non-ego. Subhuti, those whom the Tathagata referred to as common people, are not really common people, such is merely a name. Section the 26th. The body of truth has no marks. Subhuti, what do you think? May the Tathagata be perceived by the 32 marks of a great man? Subhuti answered, no, the Tathagata may not be perceived thereby. Then Buddha said, Subhuti, if the Tathagata may be perceived by such marks, any great imperial ruler is the same as the Tathagata. Subhuti then said to Buddha, world-honored one, as I understand the meaning of Buddha's words, the Tathagata may not be perceived by the 32 marks. Whereupon the world-honored one uttered this verse, who sees me by form, who seeks me in sound, perverted are his footsteps upon the way, for he cannot perceive the Tathagata. Section the 27th. It is erroneous to affirm that all things are ever extinguished. Subhuti, if you should conceive the idea that the Tathagata attained the consummation of incomparable enlightenment by reason of his perfect form, do not countenance such thoughts. The Tathagata's attainment was not by reason of his perfect form. On the other hand, Subhuti, if you should conceive the idea that anyone in whom dawns the consummation of incomparable enlightenment declares that all manifest standards are ended and extinguished, do not countenance such thoughts. Wherefore? Because the man in whom the consummation of incomparable enlightenment dawns does not affirm concerning any formula that it is, finally extinguished. Section the 28th. Attachment to rewards of merit. Subhuti. If one bodhisattva bestows in charity sufficient of the 7 treasures to fill as many worlds as there are sand grains in the river Ganges, and another, realizing that all things are egoless, attains perfection through patient forbearance, the merit of the latter will far exceed that of the former. Why is this, Subhuti? It is because all bodhisattvas are insentient as to the rewards of merit. Then Subhuti said to Buddha, "What is this saying, world-honored one, that bodhisattvas are insentient as to rewards of merit?" And Buddha answered, "Subhuti, bodhisattvas who achieve merit should not be fettered with desire for rewards. Thus it is said that the rewards of merit are not received." Section the 29th. Perfect tranquility. Subhuti, if anyone should say that the Tathagata comes or goes or sits or reclines, he fails to understand my teaching. Why? Because Tathagata has neither whence nor whither, therefore is he called Tathagata. Section the 30th. The integral principle. Subhuti, if a good man or a good woman ground an infinite number of galaxies of worlds to dust, would the resulting minute particles be many? Subhuti replied, "Many indeed, world-honored one." Wherefore? Because if such were really minute particles, Buddha would not have spoken of them as minute particles. For as to this, Buddha has declared that they are not really such. Minute particles is just the name given to them. Also, world-honored one, when the Tathagata speaks of galaxies of worlds, these are not worlds, for if reality could be predicated of a world, it would be a self-existent cosmos, and the Tathagata teaches that there is really no such thing. Cosmos is merely a figure of speech. Then Buddha said, "Subhuti, words cannot explain the real nature of a cosmos. Only common people fettered with desire make use of this arbitrary method." Section the 31st. Conventional truth should be cut off. Subhuti, if anyone should say that Buddha declares any conception of egoity, do you consider he would understand my teaching correctly? No, world-honored one, such a man would not have any sound understanding of the Tathagata's teaching, because the world-honored one declares that notions of selfhood, personality, entity, and separate individuality, as really existing, are erroneous. These terms are merely figures of speech. Thereupon Buddha said, "Subhuti, those who aspire to the consummation of incomparable enlightenment should recognize and understand all varieties of things in the same way and cut off the arising of views which are mere aspects." Subhuti, as regards aspects, the Tathagata declares that in reality they are not such. They are called aspects. Section the 32nd. The delusion of appearances. Subhuti, someone might fill innumerable worlds with the 7 treasures and give all away in gifts of alms. But if any good man or any good woman awakens the thought of enlightenment and takes even only 4 lines from this discourse, reciting, using, receiving, retaining, and spreading them abroad and explaining them for the benefit of others, it will be far more meritorious. Now, in what manner may he explain them to others? By detachment from appearances, abiding in real truth. So I tell you, thus shall ye think of all this fleeting world. A star at dawn, a bubble in a stream, a flash of lightning in a summer cloud, a flickering lamp, a phantom, and a dream. When the Buddha finished this discourse, the Venerable Subhuti, together with the Bhikshus, Bhikshunis, lay brothers and sisters, and the whole realms of gods, men and titans, were filled with joy by his teaching, and, taking it sincerely to heart, they went their ways.